Danny Jacobs, another New Yorker, fighting Canelo.
Yeah, I think it's a great fight. You know, I think it's a good matchup. Both guys have had a good career, and they're facing each other while they're still at a pretty prime age. You know, and I think it's a good fight. Man, may the best man win. I like that fight.
A lot of people are assuming that Canelo's going to win. Are they taking Danny's boxing skills lightly?
I think you favor Canelo, but Danny can switch hit, and Danny can do a lot of things that Canelo may not have seen before. You know, Canelo I think has shown some issues with left-handers, and Danny can fight very well at the southpaw stance. But we'll see. You know, I know a motivated Danny is a very dangerous guy to deal with. You know, I've seen it when he was an amateur. I've seen it in his pro career at times. You don't always see the best Danny, but when you see the best Danny, he's a handful to deal with. So we'll see. I'll leave it at that.
Canelo Jacobs. Jacobs finally got the fight with Canelo, man. How do you see that going? And how do you break that fight down?
First and foremost, I'm happy that he got the fight.
Absolutely.
Because you
He's
don't
a
know
good
that.
guy.
He's a great guy. Yeah. I don't think he gets enough press. I don't think he gets enough, not just shine, but just notoriety for what he overcame with the cancer. You know, he's a father. You don't hear about his name in the press in a negative way. He's articulate and he's a great fighter. And the thing that they say they like to see, knockouts, he gets a lot of knockouts. So I'm glad he got the fight. I didn't know if that was just baked to get him over there, but they came through. And I hope he makes a lot of money. And, you know, I've said this publicly before, you know, Danny just has to come in there with a made-up mind that he's not okay with losing a close decision. He has to make up his mind that I'm willing to walk through fire to get what I'm trying to get, and I'm not leaving here without it. And if he has that mindset, he's gonna be a hard man to beat on the night. And I like Canelo.
Right.
I've supported Canelo.
Canelo's a beast.
Canelo's great for boxing. The boy can fight, but I'm going with my brother.
Prediction on Canelo Jacobs, or how you see the fight playing out, man?
I mean, I want Jacobs to win. I feel like Jacobs box him and be more active. I think he can win. But I'm gonna rock with what you doing? But you know, I rock with Danny. But I mean, like I said, Canelo a good ass fighter.
Because we have the Canelo and Daniel Jacobs fight.
Was announced, right?
Yeah.
Last week at a press conference. I think that's a good fight. I like Jacobs. He's boxer, smart, big. I think he'll give Canelo a much better fight, and he will have some good rounds, some good success. I am still picking Canelo to win. I think Canelo wins. I think Canelo has developed a lot in recent fights. He's improved a whole lot from, a couple years ago. A few years ago, I was not convinced or impressed or sold on Canelo, but in the last couple of fights, he's improved. Every fight seems to be improving. And when he was first early in his career, champion, he just wasn't where I would expect him to be, but he was improving little by little, steady, little by little. And now I think he's right where he needs to be. I think he'll beat Jacobs, but it'll be a good fight.
Listen, I was middleweight, dream middleweight, all the way up heavyweight. Wow, skills. You got skills, you can beat anybody. Now I had a little bit more explosive power that Canelo got, but he got the skills to beat anybody.
Roy.
I ain't saying he gonna beat Danny either. I ain't saying that. Danny can win that fight too.
I understand this, but when I watch Canelo, it seems like he got to be close. He got to get real close to get off, because a lot of his work.
He's a Mexican fighter.
Right.
What do they work off? Your punches. Right. So to do that, they got to be where?
Close. Exactly. So when Danny's staying behind and circling and moving.
If he's circling move, like if he's carving that fight game, he's gonna carve.
Right.
He's circling move, he got box. Yes. That's what Canelo. That's what Triple G did best. Exactly. And if you look at the second fight, Triple G probably really outboxed him.
Exactly.
But they asked for a Mexican style fight. You can't outbox me in a Mexican style fight if you ask for a Mexican style.
Roy, both these guys are good, Canelo and Jacobs. They could box, they could punch. So what's going to decide the winner?
Who has their way? If Canelo can have his way and stay close, then he'll win the fight. If Jacobs will have his way and stay outside the boxing and be smarter, then Jacobs will win the fight. So whoever can implement their game plan, their natural DNA genetically modified game plan, which Canelo's a counterpuncher who wants to get close to the counter. Then if Jacobs is quicker, you don't need a counterpunch. You need, like you said, stay behind the jab, stay outside and boxing on his own terms. Whoever inflicts their plan will win the fight.
We know, but Jacobs, he seems like a little bit more of a boxer puncher than a pure boxer. So can he really stick to pure boxing, outboxing Canelo for 12 rounds if he's really a boxer puncher?
Yeah, because a boxer puncher just is a guy who can box but likes to land a big punch when he can. That's a smart boxer puncher. So we're not saying he's just a boxer puncher. He's a smart boxer puncher. If he wasn't a smart boxer puncher, then Canelo just hit him hard, deliver to a slugfest, and it'll be over with because he'll beat him. But he's not that guy. Danny Jacobs is a smart guy.
That being said, who has the best chance to implement their game plan, do you think?
Well, that's difficult. That's difficult because we don't know how the fight's going to unfold. We have fights. We got to see when the fight starts. Usually the guy who has the most success early in his game plan is who will be able to implement it the most. Because if I come out right away and Danny throw a punch and Canelo's simply hit him 2 times or hit him 1 time hard, then Canelo's in control already. So it's going to look like it's tilted in his favor right away. But if Danny come out and keep him off on that first round and box him and beat him, then Danny going to be in control right away. So now whoever can make the adjustments is who will win the fight.
Do you think at all that Danny's...
I ain't giving no extra to nobody because I love both of them. They're 2 of my favorite people in the world. Either guy can win the fight. They're both really good people. And for me, I don't really care who wins. I'm just happy that they're both getting a big fight. They fight each other. And both guys, to me, can win the fight. It's like I just said, whoever implements their plan first is probably going to be the guy that wins. Unless the other guy makes an exceptional transition during the middle of the fight.
Roy, is Danny though, like, because he's such a gentleman, is he coming in a little too nice with Canelo? Do you gotta want to come in and no respect for the champion?
That's not true because if you think about it, Triple G came out and he didn't really have no respect for Canelo. But he left there with a whole lot of different respect for Canelo. So it's not about that. It's about who got this. You be as angry and mean and disrespectful as you want. That don't win fights. So that has nothing to do with nothing. Coming in nice is actually better because now you think he's calm and he's not excited. So it's better for him.
It's a brilliant fight. It's a fight that I believe that Danny Jacobs can win in the ring, but a fight that he won't get the decision. It's a great matchup, great style, fantastic fight for the fans, but I just feel it's a fight that you won't win in the ring unless he knocks him out for 10 minutes and we might get a draw.
Do you feel that's the shame with boxing though? Like
I feel that's a big shame, but also he's the man who sells out Vegas every Independence Day, so it's just the way it is. Boxing sometimes can be a cruel and kicking the balls sport, but you know, he's going to obviously earn financially well out of it. Good luck to him. I'm happy for him on that, and I'd like to see him get the win because there'll be more chance of me fighting him than Canelo.
Canelo and Danny.
It's a 50-50 fight. I'm saying at the end of the day, I gotta look at it 2 ways: business, and then like, yo, damn, once my brother do good. You know, at the end of the day, business is Canelo. My brother do good is Danny. So whatever, however, best man show up wins. I'm just there to be like, next. I'm trying to do the Christian film thing.
But what do you feel like? What do you feel like Jacobs needs to do to win that fight? Everybody thinks he has to win definitively. He has to be very decisive.
I mean, you know how it is, man. Canelo's he's the face of, I could just say the face of boxing in the middleweight division right now. So he's got the more popular people behind him. The judges, of course, that's what people are going to say. That's what we're talking about, the judges, right? Getting a fair decision. At the end of the day, you go in there, you do your best, and that's all that matters. So, may the best man win, and Danny got to go in there and do what he got to do to show how good and how talented he is with all these things against him. You can't let that, play with your mind either.
Canelo Jacobs, I know Danny's been, I believe he's been in Northern California in your gym in the past. How does he beat Canelo? Do you think he beats Canelo on the night of?
This is a very interesting fight. I think right now, going into the fight, it's a 50-50 fight. I think as the camps progress and get closer and closer to the fights. Hey, El.
Hey, Bird.
How you doing, baby? I'm good. Good seeing you. Be able to give a better assessment. The thing is can in the training camp, can Canelo produce the type of sparring that would assist him in the Jacobs fight and vice versa? Can Jacobs find a Canelo? So I think right now it's a 50-50 fight. I think it's a fight that's not going to go the distance.
How does Jacobs use his size effectively in that fight against
Well, isn't there a weight clause on
There is.
on the fight? So right there, that could affect it. What is it, IBF rules or something?
10-pound limit.
10-pound limit. So they negated that already. So,
But both those guys come in over 170, so it's odd.
right, but you would figure it would affect Danny more than it would affect Canelo. So that makes it a 50-50 fight in my everything is even across the board. So I think as the fight gets closer and closer, and the training camps kind of let out what's going on, I think that'll give an indication whose favor should be favored to win the fight.
Canelo versus Jacobs, how do you see that fight going?
I'm gonna kind of tell you that I think that what's coming. I think he's been getting better.
Canelo?
Yeah. I think Canelo might put it off.
What have you seen him get better at?
Well, I see him get better just with one thing. One thing I'm gonna tell you.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
I see him doing some things that my son done. That's what I'm seeing him getting better on.
Defensively, you mean some of the
defense? Yeah, defensively.
Is he?
Yeah, he's doing some of the same stuff. I looked at it at one fight. See, y'all might didn't see it because y'all didn't know what y'all was looking at, but I knew what I was looking at. And hey, I know what I was looking at, and what I was looking at is what I see.
But offensively, is he different than Floyd? He does his own thing, or is it you think you see him taking from Floyd on offense too?
Well, he might. Ain't gonna say that. You know, I'm just saying that the what you call I was telling you, man. You know, the thing was like that.
I was in the bed. What got me out?
I'm telling you that. I'm telling you that thing is right there.
And Big Floyd, man, I gotta ask you too. This is the first time, you know, Danny Jacobs, he can move in there. He's got some legs. Do you think Canelo has problems with guys that give him movement?
I would think he do. Floyd's got legs.
And that gave him problems. That gave him problems when Floyd.
Oh yeah, well don't get me wrong. I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I think that. You know, I ain't gonna say. I really can't call the fight, man. But you know, I'm just saying, like, I would look for. Well, at least let me tell you, I would hope for. I would wish for him to win because, you know, he with Oscar and Oscar with me, and that's why I would. Only way, that's the only reason I would care to see him win.
Cause you
no other reason because of anybody, but you know, but because of I've been with Oscar a long time, and Oscar is with him too. So you know, and I think that it can be pulled off.
Canelo versus Jacobs. How do you see it playing out?
Canelo Jacobs is a very good fight. I mean, he's a real good boxer, nice long jab against you know, a pressure fighter who punches very well. It's a fight. I'm really happy this fight is happening because that's one of the cases with the best is fighting the best. No qualms and they're fighting each other. And we need more of that in our game. We really do. I mean, you know, if they don't want the UFC and those other sports to take over, they better start letting these guys fight each other.
What do you favor in that fight? How do you think they're going to separate at the end of the day in that fight?
That fight, you know, he had to be a great boxer against a great puncher. You couldn't ask for a better formula for a great fight. I think the fight's going to turn out really well, and you know, One of the guys is my friend, and one I don't know. So I'm gonna hope for my friend.
And Freddie, you knew, like you watched, you were still active when Chavez was on top. You were across the corner from Morales and Marquez and Barrera. Is Canelo that good? Is he on that level with Barrera and Morales and Marquez?
I think Canelo can box, he can punch, he can move. He can move for 12 rounds, or he can attack for 12 rounds. I think he's one of the most complete fighters out there today. He's not my favorite person in the world. I mean, but I just think he might be the best fighter in the world today, though.
Let me get a pick at you, though, Leonard. Canelo or Jacobs? You know boxing, damn it. You know who's gonna win. You know.
It's a good fight. It's a good fight. I know how that other side get down. They don't put you. They wouldn't put them in a fight if they didn't think 100% that they were gonna win the fight. I respect both.
Jacobs camp now?
No,
Canelo.
Canelo's camp.
I respect both fighters. I know Danny. I know his trainers. They're great. It's gonna be a great fight. I'm a fan. You know.
Toss up.
Yeah.
Toss up type fight.
I'm a fan. I'm a fan. Both of them can fight their ass off.
Thanks, Leonard.
You have champion versus champion. I mean, you have Jacobs who survived cancer. You think he's afraid of Canelo? I mean, and Canelo, when he was born, he didn't even know fear. So it's gonna be a clash of the titans. It's gonna be a hell of a fight.
You guys have had a press conference in New York and then in Mexico. You know, we've seen that size difference, but it seems that it doesn't really matter, right? It's still a 50-50 fight.
Size doesn't matter. Look, when he fought Rocky Fielding, I mean, Rocky Fielding was like really big. Canelo's not afraid of anybody. It doesn't matter. As long as you weigh 160 Friday afternoon, we have a fight. That's all that matters. Size, everything. I mean, the bigger they are, what do they say? The harder they fall. We'll see.
Well, Canelo has, it's still a tough task. What does he have to do to come out victorious on this one?
You know, Canelo, one thing about Canelo is that he's getting better and better and better. Every single fight he goes out. Like, we don't know what he's going to do in every fight. So I really don't know what kind of game plan he's going to use. Obviously, I'm going to go watch him train in San Diego, but the game plan, it's a mystery to me. But me as a fighter, studying Jacobs, you have to press him. You have to press the action, make him fight. But Jacobs fights as well, and he can box and he can turn southpaw. So it's a tricky, complicated style that you have to figure out, and I'm sure Eddie Reynoso and Don Chepo will figure out that style.
You kind of just touched up on that, but so what does he have to watch out from Daniel?
This right here. Oh yeah, he's got a big heart.
You expect him to win by decision or knock him out?
I thought he was going to knock him out, but now I think he's going to win by decision.
Is there any issues? There was a lot of criticism within the last week that Adelaide Bird was even in the.
Yeah, that was shit. You know, it's not that he was even in the pool. It's like a list of judges that are licensed by the commission sent in. So we had to respond to that, give our reasons why not. So did Golden Boy. We ended up with, I think, a terrific judging panel. Ironically, it's the same panel that judged the last fight, which I actually felt was probably a draw, but Canelo got the judge. But Steve Weisfield is an outstanding referee, so is Moretti, and Glenn Feldman is one of the best judges in the world.
If I'm not mistaken, Feldman actually gave, he was a judge that gave Triple G the first one.
Right, okay, yeah.
In the first one, if I'm not mistaken, I know one of them did. So there's no issues on your side, on Danny's side?
I've spoken to the commission. I know the judges, as in they've worked our shows before. I've seen them judging major fights all over the world. They're honest, they're credible, they're very, very good judges. And I just believe that next week, I can see Danny Jacobs winning a decision. That's what I can see.
Most people think that Danny gave Triple G a harder fight than Canelo in his two fights. What do you think from that experience Danny can use to come out successful?
I just think he's very, very experienced. He's technically very good. He's very fast. He can punch. He can fight on the inside. He can box and move. You know, it's no secret that Canelo struggles against movers. But Danny can mix it up. You know, he can frustrate him on the outside and he can fight him on the inside as well. So don't get me wrong, it's going to be a really tough, it's a 50-50 fight. But I just honestly feel it, like, I just feel it's going to happen. I might be wrong, but I don't think so.
Canelo Jacobs, what's going to happen? Thank you. Canelo Jacobs, I like Jacobs. You know, Jacobs is a boxer. He looks good and everything. To me, if he, you know, I think what it was like when he fought Triple G, him going down, then he started building the confidence in himself that he could go and bang it up with Triple G. I think the same thing will happen, but I think Canelo's going to just take advantage more. And I see Canelo winning.
The Canelo fight with Jacobs, a lot of people have you, Crawford, and Canelo as the 3 best pound for pound. What do you think of Canelo in that fight?
For me, like a fan, it's very interesting fight. But if you ask me about result, I don't know.
Do you agree do you think people are right when they say you, Crawford, and Canelo are the top 3? Is that how you have it?
Maybe, I don't know.
Canelo Jacobs fight.
That's a good fight. I can't even pick on that. I'm a fan of that. Canelo, a great fighter. What's his name?
Jacobs?
Jacobs is a good fighter. I'm a fan. I made the best one win that night.
Is there a favorite you feel? Because
I don't think it's no favorite. I don't think so. I think it's a 50-50 fight. Ask me.
Canelo versus Daniel Jacobs. Both fighters are in your weight category. Unification fight. Is that a big, tough fight for Jacobs?
It's a tough fight for both of them. I rate Jacobs as a fighter for sure. Obviously, Canelo, one of the biggest names in boxing right now. So it's a good fight, and Canelo's got this $350 million deal or something I've heard. I don't know how true that is.
Yeah, with the zone. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the numbers they're throwing around.
You smile.
Well, you know, that's tasty, man.
Let's take Canelo Jacobs.
I think that's an excellent fight. I like Canelo. I think Canelo is getting better, and I think Canelo now goes through anybody in the middleweight division.
Is he undoubtedly the face of boxing, Canelo?
No, he's a good fighter with a good fan base. There's no such thing as any one fighter being the face of boxing.
Some people would have said Mayweather was that at one point, so you don't think there's one person right now?
No, not at all. When Mayweather was fighting, there was always Manny Pacquiao, and there was always fighters in other divisions. You know, we can't go with the face of boxing. You know, the only fighter I remember who was the face of boxing was Ali.
Do you think he'll beat Daniel Jacobs? Do you think he wins that fight?
I think it's a good fight between both of them. You know, any given night, I feel like they could beat each other. You know, Jacobs is the bigger man. Jacobs is strong. Jacobs has power. You know, Canelo, all of the same things. You know, they have about the same speed. You know, on any given night, any one of those guys can beat each other. It's just whoever shows up that night.
What would you do to beat Canelo if you had to go up against him?
I would start with the jab. You know what I'm saying? Canelo looks for you to make mistakes. I would use a lot of jabs, a lot of feints on him. You know, let see his counters. You know, and you know when I get in there, then you know I would know more, but I would be able to adjust.
Man, let me get an early prediction out of you though. Who if you had to pick, who's gonna pull that fight out?
Fans. I think the fans are gonna.
No, I mean,
I think it's gonna be a terrific fight. You know, I think the fans are gonna enjoy that one. So am I.
Just Canelo Jacobs. Can I get your breakdown and who you got winning the fight on Saturday?
I don't know. You know, Canelo. Hopefully, Canelo. That's what I want. That's what I want to win because you know he done touched my weight division a little bit with Rocky Fielding, but he's now the true 168 pounder as far as opposition. And if he really wants to make waves in this weight class, I feel like he got to see me because I feel like I'm the hottest one right now. And I proved it with my skills, my mentality, my skills, my heart, everything, my chin, I got it all. So if you want to test a real 168 pounder, then, you know, let me keep doing my job because I don't think I'm just to have that fight yet. You know, I'm honest with myself. I'm not just to have that fight. And, but at some point I will be. And when I am, let's get it cracking.
And lastly, what chances do you give Jacobs?
Hopefully none. So, leave it at that.
I think it's a great fight. You know, Daniel Jacobs is a great fighter. He has great distance and everything. But I think Canelo's going to be too strong for him and might stop him.
I think the only guy ever really bigger than Canelo was when he fought Chavez Jr.
Yeah.
What do you think of that? Because Danny Jacobs comes in 185 pounds. He's a big boy at middleweight.
Yeah, he's a big boy, but you know, Canelo, he could take punch. He showed it with Triple G that, you know, Triple G got him with some good shots and everything, and he didn't hurt him. So, you know, you could tell that Canelo could take a punch.
I think it's honestly, I think it's gonna be a good scrap. I don't think it's an easy fight for either guy. I think that Danny Jacobs can definitely win the fight. If it goes the distance, I think that it's gonna be Canelo, no doubt. It gotta be decisive, you know what I mean? It can't be close rounds where I don't know who won that round. It could go to Canelo or it could go to Danny Jacobs. You know, if he's gonna win, he has to win a decisive win and win enough rounds to be able to seal the deal against a guy like Alvarez.
What's gonna separate them in the actual fight itself?
It's just defense, man. Like I just hope that Danny Jacobs can, those defensive laps that he has. Sometimes I've seen in his previous fight, even with Devranchenko, I was like, I don't know, man. I'm kind of skeptical, if he can really pull off this upset. I know he has the ability. He's longer, he's rangier, he can box very well from the outside, throws combinations. But, Canelo is just a vicious dude, man. He's fighting in his prime right now, man. He learned a lot from Floyd Mayweather. And, he's very hard, and he beat Triple G. You know what I'm saying? So, tough guy to beat right now, man.
He doesn't fight like the typical Mexican fighter, right? Canelo?
Nah, bro. He's a smart fighter, bro. He makes adjustments. Very smart fighter. Good speed, good punching power, high IQ. Can use the ring. Goes well to the body. I mean, he's a complete fighter, man. And then what he did against Triple G, walk him down, take his best, and come back with his own shots, man, and be able to take the punch from Triple G, bro. He's tough for anybody, bro.
Jacobs versus Canelo, we've both seen him against Triple G. A lot of people feel that Triple G lost versus Jacobs. This second go around with Canelo was more of a draw than the first fight. So people may think that Jacobs did better versus Triple G than Canelo did. Your thoughts on that and just the fact that people tend to use common opponents to dissect the fight?
Well, I'm glad you asked that question. Styles make fights anyway. And how they felt that night in that fight doesn't really make a difference. It's about this fight here, Canelo and Jacobs. I tell you what, you ask either of these champions and they will say, I want to hear about that. I want to fight. This is a big fight. This is huge. This is for unification. This is huge.
And that's what boxing about, right? One champion for all.
One champion, man. You know what? Because when all these champions, it dilutes what being a champion is all about.
So how do you see Canelo Jacobs going?
I see Canelo knocking him out.
Really?
Yeah, I don't see Jacobs. Jacobs is just getting too old. He showed it with Triple G. Triple G got to him. Canelo's no different, All these guys got to be in the inside to hurt people, and I believe Canelo's going to get in the inside and he's going to hurt them.
Do you think that Canelo, though, struggles with guys that move on him? Because this is the first guy he's fighting that can move since Khan.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can move all you want, man, but I mean, if you're going to get touched, it really doesn't matter if you move, and Jacobs gets touched. Jacobs does get touched.
Mm-hmm.
He's just not going to run for the rest of the whole fight. Sooner or later, Canelo's going to catch up to him, hit him in the body, and rip him apart. You see the way Canelo looks? Canelo looks like a freaking monster.
Jacobs can punch too.
I don't know what Canelo's doing, but whatever he's doing something good.
You're a hard guy to impress. The only guy that impresses you is your son. But is Canelo a great fighter in your eyes?
Canelo's a great fighter. I never said he wasn't.
Right.
The only thing I said, Canelo got to be in the inside to do everything he does. You understand? But when you have a fighter that I don't see one right now, at that weight division that can take his power. Canelo doesn't care if he gets hit. You understand? He'll take a couple of punches, but he'll come in and hit you with something that he got. I never said he was a bad fighter. I just said that he has to be in the inside to do what he has to do.
Danny seems like more of a boxer puncher than a pure boxer.
Sure.
So can he box a perfect fight for 12 rounds, or that's just not what he's going to try and do anyway?
For me, I mean, in my mind, that's the plan. I mean, that's what he needs to do.
Right.
You know, I feel like he needs to be perfect throughout the whole fight. You know, can't have any mistakes. Everything has to be right. He needs to stay focused the whole time.
What about the moments where they get forced into exchanges when they
can both crack, they can both punch. So that's just like you got to see what happens.
They say it's hard to hurt a Mexican though.
Yeah, we all know that. I mean, but we're gonna see who stands up that night. You know?
You got him by lastly, Saddam. You got him by decision or knockout?
I got the fight going by decision. That's what I put it on, but who knows? You know, I can't predict the future. You know, you guys can. So let's see what happens.
Canelo Jacobs, great fight. Canelo is a strong guy. Jacobs, the boxer, versatile southpaw, orthodox. Tremendous fight, but the belts are coming back to Brownsville.
How's Danny going to do that though? How you see him pulling off winning the fight against Canelo?
Southpaw, orthodox. Pop, 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 move around, hands up, and uses his greater boxing ability in the ring, where he know how to do best.
What about the judges, man?
See, now that's where we have a problem at, the judges. I'm a realist. All right, so, Danny, you know you're my brother, so, you know, I ain't, don't take it no way. We need a knockout to win. We need it, like, I know we need a knockout to win, in general. So, us getting a decision is good, but Danny has to make the decision well worth the effort, you know what I'm saying? So, he can still be in contention.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Just as he did with GGG. He exposed GGG. So now he's here now. So now expose Canelo, and we still in line. Like, you know what I'm saying? Even though they may not give it to him, he's still gonna be in contention to be a top fighter still. You know what I'm saying? So May 4th, Brownsville. Never ran nowhere. You know the fucking motto.
Hey, Curtis, any chance though that you know could fuck his game plan up, because now you want to box and be smart for 12 rounds, but now you gotta maybe put some hurting on him, so that makes you fight more aggressively. You know what I mean? Could that weigh? You know.
Saturday we have to see.
Right.
Danny trained his ass off for this fight. You know what I'm saying? So we're here to box and we're here to bang. But we're here to just use our mind to come out with the win. Victoriously. Enough said. You know what I mean?
Canelo and Jacobs, who do you think wins that fight?
Good fight. It's a bit of a toss-up, but I kind of like Canelo. And we'll see what happens. But I just hope it's a good fight. That's all.
It seems like, you know, people are breaking down the fight. They think Jacobs has to be moving for 12 rounds. Is that what you think Jacobs has to do to win a fight?
That's what I would tell him to do if I was his trainer. You know, moving every round all the time, make it hard for Canelo. But we'll see what happens. Izine, I love you.
But when you've watched Jacobs though, does he have that skills that you see like a Mayweather had to win the fight, to outbox him like that?
I don't know about that. There's one Mayweather.
Right.
That's why he was retired with 50 wins and no losses, because there's one Mayweather.
And Vinny, I gotta get, why do you got Canelo though? I know you said you got him, but why is that?
He's good. He's good. He's young, fired up. You know, still good looking. He wants to keep it that way, and he can fight. You know, he can fight. Bottom fucking line. That's it. I think he wins.
You got a style you appreciate, the body punches and everything?
Absolutely. He can fight. There's no joke behind that.
Both Canelo and Jacobs, how do you see that fight going?
I don't think about that fight at this moment, and for me at the moment it's hard to say anything about the fight, their fight.
Do you feel a lot safer with the judges in New York than Vegas?
Чувствуешь себя более комфортно с судьями здесь, в Нью-Йорке, чем в Вегасе. I'm very comfortable in boxing, period.
You saw them right up close, closer than anybody else, Canelo and Jacobs. Who's the better fighter? Who's the superior fighter? And who wins the fight?
Well, those two guys are fighting for the consolation bracket. They're fighting for the loser's bracket. They're fighting for Gennady's belts. He's beaten both of them. I think that Canelo wins. I think that it's a 60-40 fight, but the difference is going to be that Canelo has to take a chance and try to do something different to Jacobs than Gennady did. And when he's taking those chances, Jacobs may have an opportunity to land some shots. But Canelo's the better fighter. Canelo's more skilled. Canelo's a better boxer, better hand speed. He should win.
Does he have to come out in the same mentality he did with Gennady in the rematch, go forward?
I think that he has that pressure on him because of trying to prove something. It's unfortunate that he has to prove anything because, like I said, he's a great fighter and his record speaks for itself. Danny's a good fighter too, but I think that Danny's on a different level than Canelo.
And lastly, do we get a great fight out of them, or do you think?
No, it's a great fight.
Okay.
It's a great
action.
Fight. It's an action fight because Jacobs is going to come at Canelo, and Canelo's going to have to fight. And when he's
you don't
taking
think
those
Jacobs
chances,
will stay away, try and box?
I think that he's hungry. I think that he's been waiting too long to be the star, and I think he's going to go after just like he did against Golovkin at the beginning. But I don't think Canelo pops like Golovkin does, and it scared Danny when he knocked him down in the fourth. But I think that Danny is going to put up a heck of a fight. Canelo still wins it.